Today I am with a person who actively expresses his opinion. So first question to him is, how do you feel after World Cup loss?
Actually, I'm disappointed, but I do have valid reasons to clarify my stand that why I'm not thinking too much about the loss. Because during our university days, when I followed Indian cricket, we had two shortcomings. First was lack of quality players. The whole team revolved around Kapil Dev and Gavaskar. Now the situation has changed, and it is not only Kohli but all the supporting players perform and they played like champions. So we have the current bunch of players who are very competitive, the whole team. And the second shortcoming was to tackle inability to tackle the pressure. That is still persists, and that happened in the final. The pressure surmounts, and players' delivery is affected to great extent. They sometimes do not play up to their potential. So this team was fully capable. Even in the Australian media, it was reported on the eve of the match, "ये World Cup of India का है." That was the statement in the Sydney Herald. So I want to say that even Australians couldn't believe, and it was just unprecedented success in the final. But I would sum up with one line that I am very much sad by the idea that this loss has let down the millions of cricket enthusiasts. And definitely, if we had won the World Cup, it would have helped to bring laurel to the country, which didn't happen.
What is your viewpoint about Krishnapur High School and that area?
Very interesting question. Actually, I became familiar with that place once you joined there. Earlier, I went to Saraikela once in my life, and once I moved ahead towards Kharsawa and Raj Kharsawa, I discovered that the place is very sparsely populated, not too much people infested there. And especially, I like Krishnapur school because the principal is a generous fellow, a broad-hearted, always ready to cooperate and help others without having any ego or whatsoever. And I also like Bada Bambu place because that reminds me of Malgudi days by R.K. Lakshman. The Malgudi was a place where all people remained busy in very ethnic way, not very ultra modern way of life. So it is the Kasbah based on rural activity. So I like that place, Bada Bambo, too much. I started loving that place. And I like Krishnapur because there is perfect coordination between the teachers, which is very rarely seen in the government school. They have their own group, their conflict, their rivalry, their jealousy, but those things does not persist simply because all the high school teachers are really educated and they know that they have to remain in perfect symphony, which is very inspiring and motivating. And I would have definitely loved to work in such an environment.
What according to you is successful teaching?
A successful teaching cannot be defined or otherwise. I would say that it should be defined subject wise. As far as teaching English is concerned, we have got two type of schools. English medium school, there I don't need to add my own viewpoint. But once you teach English in government school and the school low profile school where teaching explanation is not done in English, their student lag behind in spoken English. And if you ask me that successful teaching, especially English subject, then a teacher must be concerned about, he must come up with the innovative ideas which would help them to speak better. And if you do that, it's a great service to the student, to their parent, because after all they will survive in their competitions, in their job, if they perform better in interview, and that interview is conducted in English. So successful teaching, English teaching in the low profile school, is to help them to speak better, and if you do that, you are a champion.
What are your future plans?
My future is uncertain. For a long time, I have relied on the words of Swamiji that very soon he will appoint me full-time teacher. Earlier, I was the principal, but later on, I was appointed as a part-time tutorial class teacher. But I hope that if I am full-timer, even in that case, I will have the privilege of 8 hours free So in those 8 hours I will get motivated because my salary will be doubled, and I will be able to teach with great enthusiasm, zeal, vigor, vitality, because it all depends on money, how much you earn. That boosts the morale and that lifts the spirit. So at present I am low ebb, but my goal is to get a full-time appointment in Bharat Sevasram. That is still pending, but if it happens, it will lift my morale.
Why did you decide to be a teacher?
Actually, in the initial phase of my career, I was security personnel in a reputed company in Jamshedpur. I worked there for a very short span of time. Thereafter, I went in the sales, and very soon discovered it is none of my business. I could not survive there because my performance was very low, and ultimately they didn't kick me out of the organization, Reliance Mobile. Rather, I decided I should quit and better I should join some school, and thereafter, for the last 22 years, I am in this. I am working as a teacher. So the thing which prompted me to move from the professor other profession to teacher, that I was a good communicator. I was a good communicator in a sense that in any of the language I could convey my thoughts, my ideas very well in a convincing manner, in comprehensive manner. It is nothing with the art of eloquence in English only, in Hindi too. I can compete to the best of speakers in my mother tongue. I won't boast about my capabilities in English. So communication is not entirely associated with one language. So I thought better I should use it to the full potential in school, because in school as a teacher, even if you are not storehouse of knowledge, you can share your ideas, because when you teach literature you must have your own ideas, your thoughts, which you share with your students. Sometimes you impose your thoughts to mold their personality, and that I realized I can do better to justify my worth of working somewhere, and then since then, I am a teacher.
What is your best experience in life?
You know, the best experience in life, according to my viewpoint, is dependent on two things: the place where you live and the things you possess in your life. Fortunately, I am born and brought up in a family. Uh, the people had very good high values. We never earned money by unfair means, and we had the respectable jobs as a college teacher, and then as the main means contractor from Kisi Utpadan Bazaar Samiti. I won't say that I am son of or descendant of a farmer's family. We all were working. So my best experience as per living is in Kelgaon, where I discovered Bihar better. Earlier, I had the preconceived notion about Bihar, although I am native of Bihar. But that part, that sphere is so rich, so varied, especially situated on the bank of Ganga with a nice locality in the NTPC colony. I discovered that other places can be interesting as well. And apart from that, I also lived in the most prestigious area of Jamshedpur for 15 years. That is the northern area, Circuit House area, where the directors have got the bungalow. Tata Steel directors bungalow is there in the same vicinity. So we had the quarters, and that quarter faced a very widespread field where the Ranji Trophy matches were also held. Selection was also held. Mahendra Singh Dhoni played there for the selection matches. So I like that vicinity, full of trees and the natural surrounding in Kahalgaon, the greenery, the paddy fields. So I like those places. I do not like the skyscrapers, the very ultra modern city having pub, bar, theater, disco. These things doesn't attract me. So as far as things possessed, I do not have anything to cherish right now, except for the Renault car that I have bought with my hard earned money. But I do not have land, property, or real estate business to boast about. But definitely, I have lived in Kahalgaon, and I lived in the northern area, the most prestigious area of Jamshedpur, and that is the most means that was the most enjoyable part of my life.
Thank you, sir.
So this was your last question. You should have told
Yes.
it earlier.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you for giving me a chance to express my viewpoint, because I got excited by the idea that this new 5G phone has got the loudest speaker. And when I discovered that when I record the video and the audio is of amazing level, it just rekindled the fire, because I, in the long past, I used to do the same thing with the help of iPod 15 years back, when nobody was interested in recording the video and watching it later on. I used to do that. So I decided that I should refresh my memory. I got a nostalgic, a little bit nostalgic. Nowadays, to record video, that saga is gone. Everybody is interested in social media videos and the English videos that is in the YouTube. So thank you for giving me a chance to reignite the passion lying within myself.
Thank you again, sir.